Hello again and welcome to another edition of Southern Country. Hi, I'm Herb Sudson. Welcome to the show, my friends. We're here at the Bonnie Brae Polo Classic in Pittstown, New Jersey. It's a beautiful day, and a beautiful day for some antique cars. And we're right in the middle of it, and the man standing next to me is the organizer of the car parade that's going to take place here at the Polo Classic. Bill, how are you doing?
Just fine. Just fine.
Tell us
better.
There you go. Tell us about the cars and what the purpose of this is.
Well, the purpose is to help with the Bonnie Brae Classic. Obviously, it's they do nice work. Right. And these cars are mostly classics, full classics, with the exception of the Mercedes and one other, that one.
Okay.
But that's not the point. The point is they're all fine automobiles. Sure. And we love them, and we have our own meets, but we do this to help out the Bonnie Brae.
Okay. And you own this car sitting next to us?
This is mine, yes. Yeah.
Tell a little history behind that.
Yes, this was in the 36th inaugural parade, Roosevelt, President Roosevelt.
Wow.
And he didn't sit in it. He had 4 cabinet members with top silk hats seated in the back. It's a 7-passenger car, wow. So there's room for the 4 in the back, and that's its claim to fame. It's not my claim to fame.
How long have you owned it, Bill?
I've owned it for about 12 years. I had several, and I finally got down to 1.
Oh, you had several classics?
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. I had 2 Cadillac 12s and about 5 Packards.
Interesting. Now, did you restore this car?
No, it was just as I had it. It was out, and I bought it from the collection out in Michigan.
Okay, you went to a collection.
I went out there with my wife, and we got it out there.
You were looking for this exact car?
No, I was looking for a Phaeton, but this is a touring car.
Okay.
The difference is a Phaeton's 5-passenger. This is longer and has 7. We'll take 7. It has jump seats, just like a limousine.
Okay.
But it's a convertible. Actually,
where else do you show these cars? Do you go to, how far do you, and wide do you go with these cars?
Basically, we have our own meets. Sometimes we get into parades, but most of the time we have our own gatherings. Okay. And just get it together this is an excuse for us to get together. and it's a good one because of Bonnie Brae.
Sure, good.
But we have our own gatherings and little entertainment, and drive here and there and take fall foliage tour and that sort of thing. Any excuse. Any
excuse to get in and go.
That's the idea.
There you go.
Right.
Well, thanks for being on the show, Bill. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Okay, my friends, we're walking around the Bonnie Brae Polo Classic here in Pittstown, New Jersey, and Gary's here, and he owns the car that's right beside us here. What is it, Gary?
This is a 1937 Packard Super 8 Victoria convertible, and there's about 12 of these left in the world for Super 8s. It's flathead, or straight 8, I mean, about 135 horsepower. It's nice because this is the first year that they had independent front suspension on these cars.
Wow.
But yet it still had the long wheelbase, so they ride really well. The frame of the car is not metal. The whole car is northern ash, and the skin is covered over the northern ash, so there's no squeaks, bangs, cranks.
What's northern ash, if you don't mind me asking?
That's a tree, an ash tree.
You have a wooden frame on
Yeah, a wooden frame underneath this car, and so it's very, very quiet, very smooth, very comfortable. Long wheelbase, independent front suspension.
How long have they made wooden frames on these Packards?
Well, they really started from the beginning, and I think they finally gave it up for wooden frames in 1940, I believe.
What was the advantage of a wooden frame to a metal frame, other than squeak?
Well, I think at the time they didn't have the metal forming quite the way they have it now, and it was quiet. They didn't have the squeaks and the bangs in the frame, and it was flexible because the roads were not as good then. If you were, yeah, the roads were. I mean, we tend to forget that now. We're buzzing along at 75 miles an hour in smooth, quiet cars. I mean, they were terrific cars, but it's like 2 different products between then and now. These were rolling art.
How long have you owned that car?
I've owned this car since 1988.
And it was restored when you bought it just like it is?
No. It just came out of restoration.
Okay.
And I had it completely restored. by a guy up in Burnsville, Automotive Restorations in Burnsville.
How long did it take to restore that car?
Oh, it's been in restoration about 10 years.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you have to mortgage the wife and kids. I mean, you really don't want the wife to know how much it is. You know?
Right, that's one of the secrets in life, huh?
Right, that's how you survive.
There you go. Thanks for being on the show, Gary. Appreciate it. Okay, my friends, we're standing next to a Mercedes. Gene, you own the Mercedes. Talk to me about it.
Yes, so this is a 1961 190 SL Roadster. It has 51,000 original miles. It's been fully restored, and it's a car that I enjoy very much. You can travel at highway speeds with it. It handles quite well, and the top stays down normally, and I do a lot of driving during the summer months with it.
And how long you own that car?
I've owned this car a very short period of time, only about 6 months.
And you actually went out to buy this model car, or did you just happen to stumble upon this?
No, I own several cars, and I happened to find this car and liked it, and decided I would purchase it. My wife wasn't too happy about that.
What else do you have?
I have a 1929 Model A.
Okay.
I have a 1931 Lincoln LeBaron. I have a 1937 Studebaker. I have a 1949 Buick Roadmaster, and I have a 1950 Packard.
Now, who maintains all these cars mechanically that you have?
Fortunately, my son-in-law likes cars, and he's mechanically inclined, so he does that.
Okay. It's a beauty. How many were made? Is this a classic as far as models or years, as many were made in that year?
This is not a classic. A lot of cars were made. There are quite a few survivors, but this particular car is very desirable, and it is going up in value, and it's something that a lot of people are currently looking for.
Well, thank you for being on the show. Appreciate it, Gene. Nice having you on Southern Country. What are we standing next to here?
Well, we're standing next to a 1941 Cadillac four-door convertible, or they call it sometimes a convertible sedan.
Why do they call it a convertible sedan?
Well, because it's a four-door convertible, and it's the last year that Cadillac made a four-door convertible. And this car happens to be one of 400 that were built.
Oh, they only built 400 of this model?
Of this model, yes, sir.
And how many are in existence yet today?
We don't know. It's amazing how many are still in existence. As far as we know, we've counted about 100, through clubs and everything, so it's amazing how many have still remained.
And you belong to the club that brought all the cars in?
Yes, we are. We're a member of the Classic Car Club of America.
Oh, Classic Car Club of America brought all the cars in?
That's right, that's right. And this is the local region, the metro region.
How far do you drive the car like this? What would you do? Are you touring on a Sunday afternoon with it?
Oh, sure. We would tour in local roads. Right now, we still, if we're going any distance, we would trailer it. We have a trailer. But a lot of people like to drive their cars into caravans and go on various trips. We have not done that yet, but we're fairly new into the...
How many other cars do you own?
Well, we have two other 1941 Cadillacs. One is a two-door coupe convertible, and the second one is what they call a 60 Special, and it's a four-door sedan made by Fleetwood, bodied by Fleetwood. And then we also have a 1947 Cadillac convertible.
For somebody that's pretty new, you're doing good here.
And that's Antoinette Blue. And we just arrived back we were out in Michigan, and we did very well on the competition. So
with this car?
No, with the 1947 Cadillac, the one we did not bring.
Okay. Is this a competition winner?
Yeah, this one is too. Yes, it is. It has a national first prize from AACA, which is the Antique Automobile Club of America, and it also has a primary of the Classic Car Club of America. Here's the badge for that.
Okay.
And then the other badge is in the front there. So it is a national prize winner.
Wow. How long have you owned it?
We've got this car, I guess, late in 1997. And we bought it like this.
Well, already restored.
Already restored.
Somebody else did the work.
Well, somebody else did the work. We've done the polishing.
There you go. Okay. Thank you, Grace, for being on the show.
If you can't tell, this is what is cavern green. It's not black. It's a cavern green. It's a very, very dark green.
Was that a featured color in 1941?
Yes, it was. It was an original color, yeah, for a Cadillac for quite a few years. But it's a unique color. A lot of people mistake it for being black.
It's pretty close. Well, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay.
Yes, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to wrap the show up with Floyd here. He's going to tell us about this Cadillac.
This is a 1947 Cadillac, and it was restored by a professor at the Tampa University in Florida. However, when he got to the point of the upholstery, he decided he didn't want to do anything anymore. He wanted to go hunt rocks. Okay. So we bought the car without any upholstery and so on. Brought it home to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and put the top on it and the upholstery in it. And since then, it's been a very usable car.
Is this a driver that you go out on the road with?
Yes, we do. In fact, our last trip was up to Maine.
You drove this to Maine?
We drove it to Maine.
It's a dependable driver.
Very dependable. It would do 65, 70 on the road, stay with traffic all day long.
Wow.
We had lots of fun with it.
I bet people are looking at you, too.
Yeah, they do, yes. And they give us a thumbs up when they pass us.
Is it difficult to get parts for one of these?
No, not really, but you do have to hunt a little bit. However, most of our parts are readily available if you find them, if you look for them.
Now, who maintains a car like this? Do you physically maintain it?
Well, I've been doing most of the maintenance.
Okay.
But when I get to something difficult, like pounding out a fender or something like that, I turn it over to a restoration shop.
I see. I see. But you've been on the road with, how long have you owned it?
Oh, this one we've owned for about 5 years.
Okay. And you don't go to the local market with it or any of that. You just
No, try not to take it to a parking lot.
Good. All right, Floyd, I thank you very much for being on the show. Appreciate it. Okay, thank you.